As vice president, you've worked very closely with President Biden for almost 4 years. He was here on our show, and he said there wasn't a single thing that he did that you could not do. What do you think would be the biggest specific difference between your presidency and a Biden presidency?
Well, we're obviously two different people, and we have a lot of shared life experiences. For example, the way we feel about our family and our parents and so on. But we're also different people, and I will bring those sensibilities to how I lead. You know, for example, I know we're going to talk today, but one of the issues that I'm very focused on is what we do around home health care.
Yes.
I have done a lot of work as it relates to, sadly, but violence against women and children. I care a lot about that. I love our small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me predominantly, but we had what we called a second mother who lived 2 houses down who helped my mother raise us. She was a small business owner. I love.
There we go with the small business owner thing. She was a small business owner. I love small business owners. The queen of word salad is insane out here. And so the question is, were you in the room, and how was it that you're governing compared to Joe Biden? Specifically, are you and Biden a pair? Because I know that it's a lot of people that made comments out here, and even when you hold her accountable for some of the things that even J.D. Vance was saying, while they were on a debate stage with Tim Walz, and in his closing argument, he said, listen, what makes you think you're going to get anything different than what you've experienced over the last 3.5 years? I've heard Roland Martin sit there and go off on Jermaine Dupri and say, well, she's not the president. No, she works hand in hand, and she's admitted that she's been in the room for overwhelmingly the majority of the decisions. So with that being said, the question then becomes, how are we getting anything different than what we've experienced over the last 3.5 years? Minus all of the same stories that we've seen with, oh, my mother's friend was a small business owner. Let's see if we can get some real substance out of this.
Of our small businesses. And so the influence of a personal experience will have its impact on the presidency.
Well, if anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact. The work that we have done, for example, capping the cost of insulin at $35 a month for our seniors is something I care deeply about allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices and bring the cost of prescription medication down for seniors, but my intention is to expand that for all Americans. The work we have done to invest in American industries, whether it be in terms of manufacturing and creating almost 800,000 new jobs around manufacturing. Those were all a shared priority.
Well, let's Kamala, and I'm calling you Kamala because for all of those who are mispronouncing it, I want you all to know how to say it. There you go. But let's talk about something you would.
Nothing else to see here. We don't really care about these hyenas on The View. But more importantly, now that we're getting closer to the election, she's telling you who she is. Look, we've seen all of the talking points about the caps of insulin and all of the small business owners and all of this stuff. We've seen that at every campaign rally. We've seen it in every interview. We see the talking points. We've memorized it just as much as she said it, so there's nothing new there. But the real question that we wanted to ask ourselves is, how would you do things differently considering that you were a part of every decision, yet you want to take all of the accolades from things that you think are a talking point that then would sway people to vote for you, but you don't want none of the headache that comes along with any of the other decisions that was a part of it? How would you govern any differently than the Biden administration, the Harris-Biden administration, when it's a Harris-Walz administration, if that's what you was to win as far as the president of the United States of America? And the answer is nothing. Nothing. There will be no difference. So, hate it or love it, whatever you're experiencing and whatever your life was like over the last 3.5 years, that's what you can expect more of, except for an exaggerated version of it, because I believe that Kamala Harris is more liberal and more of a socialist than Joe Biden ever could be. Whatever you experience over the last 3.5 years, so when they made the comparisons in a debate, when they make the comparisons on the rallies, when they make the comparisons overall, what they're basically telling you is that you're not going to experience anything differently except for a different type of chameleon that they parade out there. And what you experience 2021 through 2023, 24, 25, whatever it is, over the next 4 to 8 years, because she's going to run for another term if she was to win, which we know that she's not going to win. But we just want to bring you the information so you can make an informed decision for yourself. You need to compare their term, which is a Kamala Harris-Biden term, to what's happening with Trump and what you experienced 2016 through 2020. Right or wrong, good or bad, there's nothing that you can expect differently except for more liberal policies, more things as far as advocating for women in the alphabet community to do things that's not in the best interest of the family. You're not going to see any changes as far as your lifestyle benefit. If you think that these people have the solution to making sure that they pull you out of poverty or the middle class and for you to get a leg up and to get in a comparison position with somebody that's rich or somebody that's the top 1%, you need to save yourself. You're going to have to save yourself. Nobody is coming to save you. They're telling you who they are. They're not trying to change it. She's not trying to distance herself from it. She's celebrating what she would call successes, what we would call acts of treason to an extent, because a lot of the things that they experienced or we've experienced as far as the decisions that they made, letting people come into this country that's unvetted, then giving them all of your money, leveraging your tax dollars to do it, and then ignoring the people and what they're crying out for in all of these liberal cities that then always bring themselves back to the Democratic Party, which is one of the reasons why they do it, because they don't have to answer to you. They know that you're going to vote for them no matter what. And so the only way to show them is to have a red wave all over this country. And everything that they thought was a blue stronghold all throughout the Midwest, if you didn't like what it is that Tim Walz did inside of your state in Minnesota, they need to make sure that they vote at the polls. If you didn't like what was going on over in Ohio, Pennsylvania, whatever it is that you experience, you need to vote. And I know that we see a lot of people that's displaced from these hurricanes. And shout out to the people, be safe over in Tampa. But make sure under no circumstances do you allow for them to use this as an opportunity to take advantage of what's going on in this election, because let's be clear, they know where the red states are, they know where the blue states are, and they know who's going to be affected by it. So we cannot be deterred. We have to be informed voters, and we have to make a decision not based off of our emotions and identity, but based off of what they are telling you to your face. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, and then come and kick it with me in person. I will be in Atlanta and I will be in Detroit. Those details are in the description. Use discount code Anton. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Do you think that you're going to get a different version of Kamala? Because she's telling you that it's not going to be any different. I want to know what y'all think. Make sure y'all tap in for after hours. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.